adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring the entire Nelson family. Here's Ozzie. Here's Harriet. Here's David. And here's Ricky. Here they are, America's favorite family, the Nelsons.
There's room for bathhouses over here, and a little later on we can add a cocktail bar here.
Well, we can't have a cocktail bar in a fraternity house, can we?
The point is, we can't have this pool either. It's too big. Well, if we're going to have a swimming pool, we might as well have a big one. The backyard isn't big enough for a pool this size.
Well, I got an idea. Why don't we tear down a fraternity house and just build one big pool?
Well, wait a second, you guys. I designed this pool for a 12-story hotel.
Well, what did you show it to us for?
I just want to show you what good work I can do. Fine. If I decide to build a 12-story hotel, I'll call you.
Well, how big is our fraternity pool going to be?
Let's hear from the engineering department.
Well, we've been kind of figuring this thing out here, and the biggest pool we can build is 20 by 40. That is, if you don't mind stepping out of the dining room into the pool.
Isn't that a little close? It's too big a temptation to throw paper napkins into it.
So we can make it a little narrower. Maybe a long, thin pool.
Can we interrupt this meeting? Oh, no, don't get up, fellas.
Oh, as long as you've got food with you, you can interrupt anything.
Now, take one and pass them.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, take two and pass them.
Gee, Mr. Nelson, you didn't have to do this.
Oh, anything to make you prospective pool owners happy.
That's okay, Pop. We would have invited you to go swimming anyway.
Oh, really? Give me those coats back.
How's the plan coming along?
Oh, fine. We should break ground tomorrow.
Oh, good. That'll give me just time enough to patch up my water wings.
Got everything pretty well organized?
Pretty well. The college maintenance department said they were going to lend us all their digging equipment.
Well, what about the concrete and the steel and all the rest of that stuff?
Well, the engineering department's taking care of that end of it.
Wasn't it going to cost an awful lot?
Well, we're going to do most of the work ourselves, and the alumni set up a pool fund a few years ago. We can use that money.
Oh. Well, lots of luck, fellas. If you strike oil, cut me in on it.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Nelson. And we want you to feel free to come over any time and bring your bathing suit. And some more of these cookies.
Good night.
Good night, fellas.
After many years of discussion and planning, it looks as if our fraternity swimming pool is at long last going to become a reality. And to help us with this groundbreaking ceremony, direct from the Rivoli Follies, Miss Bonnie Havenhurst. Hey!
Boys, I feel highly honored that I've been chosen for this auspicious occasion. I'm sorry that the Dean of Men will not allow me to do my specialty act here this afternoon. I hope you can all come down to the Rivoli and see the show. Meanwhile, good luck to you in your swimming pool and to all the members of the frat house. Oh, thank you. Where'll I start digging?
Right over here.
Gee, this ground is pretty hard.
Allow me, maybe I can help.
Oh, thank you.
The ground is kind of hard.
Stand back, fellas. Let me see if I can get this started.
Oh, this ground is as hard as a rock. Maybe we should have rented a steam shovel.
Kidding? You know how much it costs to rent a steam shovel?
Well, what time are we going to break for lunch?
Let's get some work done first.
Hey, how much is the plumber going to charge to fix that broken water pipe?
I don't know, but whatever it is, we can't afford it. Hey, how deep does this hole have to be? 10 feet at one end and 4 feet at the other.
And 20 feet wide and 40 feet long?
That's right.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we change this into a badminton court?
Wally, start digging, will you?
Well, I think we ought to quit now before we damage the yard beyond repair.
Look, do you want to swim in this pool when it's finished?
Of course. I helped dig it, didn't I?
Not so far.
Well, I still say it's time for lunch.
Oh, hi, Miss Nelson.
Hi, fellas.
Hi, Mr. Nelson.
You like to go for a swim?
Yeah, as soon as you finish the pool.
Pick up a shovel and wade in.
I hate to say this, but it doesn't look like you guys made much progress, have you?
You're not kidding, boy. This ground is like rock.
You mean this rock is like ground?
I thought you were going to use a steam shovel.
Well, the college wouldn't lend us theirs, and we couldn't afford to rent one.
Nothing in the budget for it, huh?
Who knows? Has anybody seen the budget? We don't actually have one yet.
I move we break for lunch, and after that we discuss the budget.
I hate to admit it, but for once I agree with you.
Okay, fellas, lunch.
I don't get it. It seems like an awful lot of money.
Well, there are a lot of things you guys didn't figure on.
Does that take into consideration the fact that we're going to do all the work?
Yeah, for a pool that size, you need a lot of concrete, steel reinforcing, filter, heater, diving board, decking.
According to these figures, I don't think we're saving anything by building the pool ourselves.
Very little.
Well, then why don't we have a regular pool company build it? It probably wouldn't cost us any more, and we wouldn't have to do all the work.
I nominate Ricky Nelson for president.
There's only one catch having a pool company do it. We'd have to lay out a lot of money.
Well, even if we do it ourselves, we'll have to pay cash for the concrete, steel reinforcing, all material.
Well, what about the fund the alumni set up?
There's not enough money in that to build a bird bath.
Does anybody have any suggestions? Anybody except Wally, that is?
Hey, I resent that. Do you deny it? No, but I resent it. I must be out of sync or something.
Well, it was a beautiful thought, but obviously it doesn't make any sense for us to build the pool ourselves.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're right.
Well, why don't we finish the digging and then turn it over to a pool company?
What about the money?
Well, that's our problem. We need about $500 more for a down payment. How do we raise it?
Why don't we borrow it from our dads?
Now, if I'd suggested that, you'd have me thrown out.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah?
Your father's treasurer of the men's club. Maybe he could give us some suggestions.
You mean about how to raise the money?
Yeah.
We can't ask him how to put the bite on somebody and then turn around and bite him.
Wait a minute now. I think Fred's got a good idea. Wouldn't hurt to ask him.
Well, make sure you're subtle about it. Don't let him know what we're up to.
Why not?
Well, your father knows my father, and your father, and your father. If you aren't careful, you could stampede the herd. Well, I keep trying.
What do you mean a financial snag, Dave?
Well, after we got everything figured out, we realized it would be more sensible to get a pool company to do the job. So now we need some money for a down payment.
Well, can't you hit the alumni up for some more money?
Not without a lot of arm twisting.
If you were going to ask a group of people for money, Pop, how would you do it? I mean, would you write them a letter or phone them or what?
Well, no, I think the most important thing to remember is to hit them all at once and use a little harmless subterfuge. For instance, we have a special meeting of the men's club tonight with refreshments and football films. But what the members don't know is that we're going to lock the doors and windows and hit them up for a donation for the new scholarship fund. See, you've got to use a little harmless trickery.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea, Pop. Maybe we can figure out something like that.
David,
Yeah, Mom?
the boys are here. Come on in, boys.
Thanks, Mom.
Hi, fellas.
Thanks a lot for the advice, Pop.
Yeah, thanks, Pop.
Anytime at all, fellas.
And the main thing is to hit them all at once. Use a little harmless trickery. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's easy to say, but how are we going to get them all together?
Now, wait a minute, fellas. This isn't right.
What do you mean?
Well, all we ever think about is what we can get out of our fathers and not what we can do for them. I mean, when you're in school, you forget about Dad and what a great guy he is and all the things he's done for you.
What are you getting at, Wally?
Well, I think we ought to do something to show our appreciation. I suggest we have a Father's Night at the fraternity.
Hey, that's a good idea, Wally. Only I think we ought to call it Dad's Night. It has a nicer sound to it.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Yeah, we could give them a real good steak dinner.
Now you're talking, with apple pie a la mode. And then we pass out the cigars, and while they're sitting there laughing and enjoying themselves, all of a sudden, pow, we hit them up for the money.
Good night, Miss Nelson.
Good night, boys.
Good night.
See you soon.
See you
Good
tomorrow.
night, Miss Nelson.
Good night.
See you, Dave.
Boy, it's just beginning to hit me.
What's the matter?
All that digging I did.
Oh, quit faking. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, if I can get out of bed.
How'd the meeting go, fellas? You get your financial problems all straightened out?
Well, not yet, but we have some constructive ideas.
Oh, good.
Oh, before I forget, Pop, you're invited to Dad's Night next week, Friday night,
Dad's night?
at the fraternity. Now, we got to thinking how much fun it would be to have a father and son dinner. You know, steaks, pie a la mode, cigars, all that stuff. What do you say, Pop?
Oh, yeah. That sounds great. You can count on me. I'd like to go.
Oh, good. Come on, Rick.
Harriet, did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
How about that? Dad's night. It's kind of nice to know the boys think of the old man once in a while.
Yes, it is. suspicious.
Well, it doesn't seem like quite a coincidence that they should suddenly decide to have a Father's Night just when they're trying to raise money for the swimming pool?
Well, no, not necessarily. I think if the boys wanted their fathers to chip in, they'd come right out and ask you like they always do.
Well, yeah, except when David came to me for advice, I suggested he use trickery.
Well, then you're perfectly safe. You know boys never take their father's advice.
Yeah, but maybe that's where the trickery comes in. This time they'll take it.
This is getting too confusing for me.
Me too. Well, I won't be late.
Now, how come the men's club are having a meeting tonight?
Well, it's kind of a special meeting. We're using a little trickery ourselves. The members don't know it, but we're going to hit them for donations for the new scholarship fund.
Well, good luck.
You mean tonight or Friday night?
Well, now that you mention it, both. Good night.
Good night.
Looks kind of suspicious to me, Oz.
Me too.
Well, that's what I thought, but Harriet didn't seem to agree with me.
Well, just what kind of money-raising ideas did you suggest to David?
Well, I just made a few general suggestions. I told him how we do it here at the men's club.
Well, why didn't you suggest a dance or a carnival or something like that?
Well, it didn't occur to me at first that the kids might be figuring on putting the bite on us.
Well, at least they're going to give us a steak dinner.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that.
You all take your seats, please, fellas. We call the meeting to order. Now, I know you're wondering what this special meeting is all about. Well, I can tell you right now it's going to be very interesting. First, we're going to show some excellent moving pictures of the highlights of the past football season. And then we're going to serve some refreshments. But there's one thing. Between the showing of the film and the serving of the refreshments, we're going to accept your pledges and donations for the new scholarship fund. A very worthy cause.
Well, you heard him. It's a very worthy cause.
Well, at least you could have given us a little warning.
Well, then nobody would have shown up. And don't try to sneak out because the doors and windows are all locked.
It's all your fault, Oz.
What do you mean, my fault?
Well, it cost me $10 tonight. You and your idea of enticing us over there to see football films and then hitting us up for a donation.
And don't forget, he locked all the windows and doors.
Well, that's a fine old men's club tradition. It's been handed down from treasury to treasury, year after year.
Okay, but you didn't have to hand it down to David.
Yeah, you can resign from the men's club, but you can't resign from being a father.
Ah, you heard it. It's a worthy cause.
Hi, fellas.
Hi, Harriet.
I've got some coffee all ready for you.
You really didn't need to do that. We had refreshments at the meeting.
Don't pay any attention to him, Harriet.
Don't worry, I won't. I've got some cookies, too.
You know, I think I'm going on a diet, starting tomorrow.
Well, what are we going to do about Friday night?
Well, there isn't much we can do. We told the kids we'd go there. Besides, there's always a possibility this dad's night's on the level and they're not going to put the bite on us.
You know you don't believe that.
You'd think they could find some other way of raising money. Oh, here, Harriet. Let me help you with that.
Oh, thanks, Darren. Careful, it's heavy.
Well, when I was in school, we used to wash cars and stuff like that.
Well, I remember one year we had a regular carnival in the backyard of our fraternity. Raised a lot of money, too.
Yeah, but the devilish thing about this is those kids have got us trapped. We won't know until after the dinner whether this is just a scheme to put the arm on us.
Yeah. Hey, I just got an idea. Here they come. Take the cue from me. Hi, fellas.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Dr. Williams.
We were just talking about you guys.
Oh, good or bad?
Oh, good.
The best.
Oh, sure.
We were discussing Friday night. Yeah, Dad's night at the fraternity. It was certainly very thoughtful of you fellas.
Oh, that's okay. Actually, we should have invited the fathers over a long time ago.
Oh, well, that wasn't necessary. I want you to know we're very proud of the way you've handled the swimming pool project.
Oh, how's that?
Well, I mean, doing the whole thing yourselves. Drawing up the plans, digging it yourselves, and working out the financing without any help from us.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
See, I was telling the fellas it's going to cost you quite a bit of money, and that's why we have what we think is a good suggestion.
Oh, what's that?
Well, now, this steak dinner is going to cost an awful lot of money. Not that we don't appreciate it, but why don't you call off the dinner and use that money for your swimming pool?
Oh, yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, oh, that's the idea.
That's very thoughtful of you, but the steak and cigars are coming out of another fund.
Besides, we've already typed up the menus and bought the cigars.
And some of the fathers have made plans to come in from out of town.
Not that we don't appreciate your offer.
Yeah, well, we could get in touch with everybody.
Oh, that's all right. We insist.
Well, you sure now?
If we change our minds, we'll let you know. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, fellas.
What do you think?
Well, if you ask me, I think you put the kids on the spot.
It's going to be awful tough for them to ask us for a donation after that.
You know, I feel kind of sorry for them. They can't very well put the bite on us now, and they can't back out of the dinner.
Well, then you think they're wise to the whole plan?
There's no doubt about it.
Well, what do you figure we ought to do?
I think we ought to call an emergency meeting of the swimming pool committee as soon as possible.
Hey, fellas. Look, I don't want you to think I'm butting into your affairs, but I understand your problem, and I think I've got a very good suggestion. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, we sure would.
Yeah, sit down, Ma.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I think this is one of the best dinners I've ever eaten.
Just wonderful.
Cigar?
Oh, thanks, Pop.
Cigar, gentlemen? How about a cigar, Mr. Nelson?
Oh, yeah, thanks, Wally.
Cigar, Mr. Randolph?
Oh, thanks.
Just one. They're all counted.
We're lucky they're not loaded.
Hey, Rick and I be excused, Pop. We have some arrangements to make.
Yeah. Go right ahead, Dave.
Where are the boys going?
This is it. It's kind of warm in here. Would anybody mind if I opened one of the doors?
I'll open it for you, Mr. Nelson.
How about the windows? Would you like those open too, Mr. Nelson?
No, thanks.
May I have your attention, please? On behalf of the fraternity, I'd like to welcome all the fathers.
Here it comes.
We hope you won't wait until we have another Dad's Night before you come and see us again. And this summer, when our pool is completed, we hope you all feel free to come down and have a swim. I guess you all know we're building a swimming pool. And speaking of the swimming pool, you probably also know that our main problem has been financial. But best of all, I'm sure you'll be delighted to learn that we figured out a way of raising the money ourselves.
Dave?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to say, and I'm sure I'm speaking for all the fathers present, that we're very proud of you. I'm afraid most of us figured you were going to give us a steak dinner and then lock the doors and put the bite on us to finance your swimming pool.
Who'd ever think of doing a thing like that?
Well, at the men's club, anyway, we're proud of you, and inasmuch as you're making a sincere effort to raise the money all by yourselves, I'd like to suggest to all the other fathers that we match every single penny the boys raise.
We accept your generous offer.
We sure do. And as chairman of the pool committee, I'd like to invite you all to step outside into the backyard and see exactly where we're going to build our pool and how we're going to raise the money.
You know something, Oz? I think it would have been better if they'd locked the doors.
I was just thinking the same thing myself.
Yeah, I think we've been rocked and rolled.
Here we are, folks. $4 per dollar. Get a balloon, get a teddy bear. Step right up, gentlemen, and win an elephant. A winner every time. Number 7. Okay, gentlemen, step right up. This is like Dot knock our alumni president into the cold, cold water. How much is it, Dot? 3 chances for $1, Mr. Darby. Be my guest.
Hi, fellas. Having a good time?
Oh, sure.
Hey, what are we going to do now?
now.
What can we do now? I'm all out of money.
I must have gone through $15.
How about lending some dough, Oz?
Well, are you kidding? I'm broke. I must have gone through about $25.
Need money, gentlemen? We'll lend it to you at 10%.
Oh, 10% interest. Okay, I'll take $10.
Okay,
I'll take 10 too.
All right.
I'd better take 10 too.
Okay.
You are?
Do you want us to sign anything for this?
No, that's okay. I've got a good memory.
Besides, we do all the collecting ourselves.
You understand, don't you, gentlemen?
Oh, sure, we're good for it.
They're nice. I thought they were musicians. I saw them before they were carrying violin cases.
That was pretty good, Mr. Nelson. Next time, try lemon meringue. That's my favorite.
Fellas.
Hi, Oz. How are you doing? Well, I'm having a good time, but I'm down to my last buck.
I guess we're all in the same boat.
Boy, you can sure go through a lot of money around here.
You're not kidding.
May I have your attention, please? First of all, we want to thank all you fathers for your generous patronage. And just to show you how much we appreciate it, I've been authorized to announce that 50% of the receipts tonight will go to the Men's Club Scholarship Fund. And I'd further like to announce that the main room has been cleared for dancing. So if any of you gentlemen would care to dance, we've provided partners for you.
Partners? They probably recruited some of the sorority girls.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'd feel kind of silly dancing with a girl who's young enough to be my daughter.
How about dancing with a girl who's young enough to be your wife? Only $1 a dance.
$1 a dance?
You mean it's not worth it?
Well, sure, that's not
And as for you guys, Clara, Sally, and June are just inside the door.
Taking a dance with our own wives? Now, that's carrying things a little too far. This is a pretty sneaky trick. Well, come on, dear, let's dance.
No, wait a minute. How about the $1?
Oh.